My name is John, a 40-year-old office worker. At the prime of my working years, I am extremely busy every day, but I quite like my job. I was thrilled to join a company I strongly desire to work for, and I hold a respectable position there. Currently, I am a manager, and although it's hectic, I find great joy in developing our team. Managing can be quite a challenge, but I believe it contributes to the company, so I dedicate myself to my duties every day. However, due to this lifestyle, my eating habits have become rather poor. For breakfast, I just drink instant coffee at home, skipping food altogether. Sometimes I drink vegetable juice I have stored, deceiving myself into thinking it's healthy. For lunch, I avoid a crowded company cafeteria and nearby diners, as they can be quite expensive. In a way, I am frugal, but some might call me stingy. Thus, I often cut back on lunch, sometimes only having 2 sandwiches. Evenings, since I'm alone, I usually buy some simple pre-made dishes. There's a 24-hour supermarket near my home, so I can stop by even after working late. The reason I'm alone at night is that I'm single. Though single, I'm actually divorced, not someone who has never been married. In the past, my wife grew tired of me and we divorced. At some point, due to my busy work life, I started feeling extremely fatigued, to the point of struggling to get up. Occasionally, I cough or feel chest pain. I suffered from asthma as a child, so I wondered if it had returned. However, there was no wheezing characteristic of asthma, nor did I feel like my airways were constricted. I thought it might be an overreaction. I really dislike hospitals and try to avoid them as much as possible. Hospitals are full of elderly people and waiting rooms are too crowded, making me feel worse just by being there. Plus, during flu season, I don't want to catch anything from others. I know I should go to an allergy or respiratory clinic, but finding a good doctor seems like such a hassle. Therefore, I was always clearing my throat, which made others worry about me. Some might even wish I wouldn't spread my illness to them. One day, there was a health check at my company, which I reluctantly attended. I've gained a bit of weight recently, so I dreaded being told to improve my diet for being overweight. Despite being frugal, I often drank alcohol with discounted burger and fries at night, so it was natural to have a belly. At my age, it's not unusual to have a bit of a beer belly. Still, I thought I was doing better than my colleague, James, in that regard. Later, I received my medical checkup results. Seeing the words "needs further examination" on the paper made me nervous. Oh no, I thought, something must be wrong with me. I'm aware that I don't lead a healthy lifestyle and that my habits are far from ideal. I thought the persistent cough and chest pain might be a recurrence of my asthma. So, I reluctantly visited a nearby respiratory clinic. It was at West Respiratory Clinic, a relatively new facility. As I waited in the reception area, I was called in for my consultation. After some questioning and a basic examination, Dr. West said something concerning. "This is a bit. Is something wrong? There's a white shadow on your chest X-ray. John, you don't smoke, right?" "No, I never thought about smoking since I had asthma when I was young and a weak respiratory system." "I see. Well, it's unlikely to be COPD, and blood tests ruled out an infection, so you should have a more detailed examination." "I see. I'm afraid it might be a serious illness." "What?" "I can't say for sure at this moment, but it's better to suspect cancer just in case." "That's unbelievable," I muttered. Dr. West said this and wrote me a referral to a general hospital. I think Dr. West was almost certain of the diagnosis. And deep down, I had a sneaking suspicion too. But I couldn't understand why I, who never smoked, would get lung cancer. I knew not every lung cancer patient is a smoker, but I never thought I'd get it. Despite my unhealthy lifestyle, I irrationally believed I would always be healthy. I took the referral and went to the general hospital on the scheduled day. I've been here before for asthma as a child, but I hate it for its crowdedness. Hearing that billing alone can take 30 minutes, I was irritated after registering. Despite having a referral, I ended up waiting an hour and a half. This being a major city, it's understandable due to the population. The hospital's proximity to new housing areas probably contributes to the high patient turnout. Upon entering the first consultation room, I was greeted by Dr. Davis, who appeared quite young. He looked to be younger than me, probably around 35 years old. I couldn't help but worry about his youthfulness. Somehow, I had always felt more comfortable with doctors in their 40s or 50s, seasoned veterans. "Hello, I'm Tom from the respiratory department. You're John, right? Have your symptoms improved?" "No, I feel like they're getting worse." "Do you feel short of breath?" "Yes, a bit. I thought it might be asthma again." "You have a history of asthma from childhood, right? Let me listen to your chest and back." Dr. Davis listened to my chest with a stethoscope. Asthma is usually easy to detect by listening to the back. No wheezing and no retraction of the ribs. Let's do a detailed examination. Order for chest CT, MRI, and this too, please. Dr. Davis gave instructions to the nurse. I was familiar with CT scans, but I was nervous about what else they would do. I hate painful procedures, and the thought of another blood test was disappointing. Dr. Davis looked young but was gentle and calm in his approach, not the type I disliked. I always thought doctors were intimidating and arrogant, but Dr. Davis felt more like a monk. He was bald, which made me wonder if he was helping out at a family temple on his days off. I recently read a book on mental care by an author who was both a psychiatrist and a monk. Juggling two roles must be busy, but medicine and religion might intersect in some ways. After all, religious rituals like funerals often follow hospital deaths. Lost in such irrelevant thoughts, I went into the MRI machine, the loud noise almost driving me crazy. CT scans felt like being sliced, which was unpleasant. Lying there, I thought about dinner and work. Then I waited in the reception area again, but this time it was only for about 30 minutes, which felt relatively better. Being in such a busy hospital can numb your sense of time, making 30 minutes seem reasonable. When I entered the consultation room again, Dr. Davis's usually calm face seemed tense. I sat down, fearing the worst. As Dr. West pointed out, "There's a shadow in your lungs," he began. Based on the CT, MRI, and blood tests, it's clear it's neither asthma nor COPD. This is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, common among smokers, but you don't smoke, John. Then, what illness do I have? Tentatively, I asked Dr. Davis a question, and he swiveled his chair away from the monitor to face me directly. Seeing his intense gaze, I swallowed hard. "Please remain calm, but you have lung cancer," he said. "What? It's quite advanced. We need to start treatment immediately. However, this is crucial. Your lung cancer is already in its final stage, so it's important to decide how far you want to go with the treatment." "So, you mean I need to start treatment right away, or else I'm going to die?" "Well, yes, that's correct," Dr. Davis responded. "I can't believe this is happening. I never imagined I would get lung cancer. I don't even smoke. Smoking isn't the only cause. I understand it's hard, but you must not turn away from reality. Let's discuss your treatment options together." "Yes, but what should I do? I've never been told I have cancer before. It's shocking for anyone, but your cancer has already progressed significantly. So before we proceed with treatment, you need to make some personal decisions." "My own decisions? What have I been doing all my life? I haven't accomplished anything yet. I still want to climb higher in my career. This is just too much. I haven't left anything behind. What does a slight promotion mean? Does it make me anything more than a miserable person? I hate this, all of this. I told Dr. Davis this, raising my voice, probably shouting. I must have been shouting. But Dr. Davis, in a composed manner, said to me, "That's not the case. You surely have things left to accomplish. We, as doctors, will commit fully to your treatment. So, let's tackle this together." Yes, even with treatment, you might have only 6 months left, but it's still better than doing nothing. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but this is the reality. Just 6 months. I was given my prognosis. Am I going to heaven? Or perhaps to hell? I don't know, but it seems there's no hope for survival. By the way, how about your family? You're still young. It must be a shock to them. My parents are no longer with us. They died in a bus accident when I graduated from college. The bus accident. Do you know of it? Yes, I'm aware of it. My parents were on that bus. They were coming to visit me when I moved here for a job, and then the bus overturned. There were many casualties, and my parents never returned. I'm so sorry to hear that. I shouldn't have asked. My apologies. No, it's okay. I brought it up. Then, do you have any siblings or a spouse to rely on? I'm an only child, cherished and raised by my parents, and I'm divorced, with no wife or children, truly alone. I told Dr. Davis, who looked very sad. He probably felt pity for me, facing the afterlife alone. I thought doctors, having witnessed many people's end, would be used to it. But Dr. Davis genuinely worried about me, suggesting treatments and hospice care. During all this, I felt dazed. Despite Dr. Davis's earnest explanation, nothing registered in my mind. I understood he was speaking, but couldn't comprehend what he was saying. Me, with lung cancer, and in its final stages. On the way home, I let out a dry laugh. Muttering to myself, a passing high school girl said, "That's scary." A man like me, muttering alone, with a vacant look, must seem creepy and scary. But at that moment, I was too preoccupied with my future to care about anyone's comments. Work was a major part of those thoughts. My life has been devoted to work. It's not an exaggeration to say I've dedicated my life to it. Next month, a new project starts, with my subordinate Bob playing a key role. If Bob fails, it's also my responsibility as his mentor. Plus, there's a proposal due the day after tomorrow, adding to my cluttered thoughts. I was worried about what to say to my company. I don't have long to live. No matter how hard I try in treatment, I won't make it to retirement. Today, I used my company's paid leave for the first time to go to the hospital. I used to save my paid leave for more meaningful things and tried not to take it, but with recent labor laws, I had no choice. I thought of myself as a corporate slave. While the company itself is healthy with good communication, I chose this path and achieved my current position. That's exactly why I couldn't bring myself to say something like, "I have cancer, so I need to reduce my workload or please prioritize my health." It was a matter of pride as an office worker, or rather, just my silly ego. The next day, I went to the office. I informed the HR department and my direct supervisor that I had terminal lung cancer. They both looked shocked and cast pitying glances my way. Being pitied like that just made things harder for me. I wished they would treat me as usual, but I knew that was impossible. It's difficult not to feel sorry for someone who you know doesn't have much time left. After that, I continued to work as usual. But the cancer took its toll, causing pain and making it hard for me to concentrate on my work. I also suffered from side effects of the medication, frequently experiencing vomiting and diarrhea. My hair started falling out, and my once thick head of hair began to thin, revealing my scalp. At 40 years old, I used to have thicker hair than my peers and colleagues of the same age, but it gradually thinned to the point where my scalp was visible. I remember being horrified when I woke up and found clumps of hair on my pillow. So, I ended up using a lot of lint rollers. Hair was falling everywhere, and I found myself having to clean daily with adhesive lint rollers. I can't take it anymore. Why do I have to endure such hardship every day just to continue treatment? I hate radiation therapy. I'm just a burden to everyone at work, and they all pity me. What am I doing? I want to end this. There's no point in living anymore. After all, I'm going to die soon. I had lost the will to live. But when I saw Dr. Davis at my next appointment, he gave me courage. Turns out, Dr. Davis's family home was indeed a church. Although I never believed in religion, listening to him made me appreciate Christian. So, I read a beginner's book on Christian and found it surprisingly interesting. It was written by someone named Kenneth Davis, who turned out to be Dr. Davis's father. While I'm not a devout Christian, it gave me something to hold on to. It seems that when humans face their end, they seek salvation. For me, it was this introductory book on Christian, but for others, it might be God or Jesus. And maybe, when it's our time, we want to reconnect with those we've drifted apart from. Learning that the phrase treasure every encounter, for it will never recur, comes from Christian made me think, well, now that you mention it, it's the meetings that make the farewells. I have an ex-wife, and I started to wonder how she was doing. Our meeting was fate. At a mixer, I was sitting alone when Emily, my ex-wife, started talking to me. Back then, there were no cell phones, so our phone bills were astronomical, but we used to call each other every day to catch up. Nowadays, with apps like WhatsApp, you don't have to worry about call charges, and there are even budget plans for calls. We fell deeply in love and got married, but I got absorbed in my work and neglected our home, letting Emily to lose patience with me. Emily was a translator working from home. She was excellent in French but struggled with building relationships, having faced mild harassment at her previous workplace. At that time, I didn't listen to her properly. I was too busy asserting that I was the one earning more and facing hardships. Then, Emily quit her job to work from home as a freelancer, but I thought it was easy for her since she was at home. She would stay up late working, sometimes even pulling all-nighters. Yet, I arrogantly believed I was superior because I was climbing the corporate ladder. Looking back, I was a terrible person. I wanted to tell her that my life wouldn't be long now. I wanted to apologize for not cherishing her when we were married. So, I decided to call Emily. If she had changed her number, I wouldn't be able to reach her. After 6 years since our divorce, I wasn't sure, but the call went through. Hello, it's me, John. Yeah, I know. I can see your name. How are you doing? There's something I want to say. What is it? I've got cancer. My time left is short. I was given 6 months to live at the general hospital, and it's been 2 months since then. So I guess I have about 4 months left. No. Emily's voice sounded a bit strained. Even though we were divorced, we had once been husband and wife. Realizing she was shocked made me feel both a bit happy and sad. Emily, I want to apologize to you. When we were married, I never really listened to you. I thought I was the only one having a hard time, but you had it tough too, working and doing household chores. Yeah. So, I want to meet you one last time. I want to apologize to you in person. Okay, then, let's meet at a cafe on Saturday. Sure, but which cafe? The Ensemble. Ah, I know it. I can get there. See you then. And so, on the following Saturday, I decided to go to Ensemble, the designated cafe. I'm frugal, so I don't go to cafes for my own enjoyment, but I do go there to adjust time before meeting clients. Our company is quite generous with the sales team, covering such expenses. The cafe has a calm atmosphere with a retro interior, and it even has a kids menu, so sometimes there are mom gatherings. The cafe had a retro and serene interior. As I approached with nervous steps, I saw Emily through the window. When she noticed me, she came to the entrance to greet me. "Thanks for coming." "No, I was the one who wanted to meet. Sorry for springing this on you suddenly. It must be confusing. An ex-husband with cancer. I have terminal lung cancer, and because of the medication, my hair has fallen out. I'm wearing a wig now." "I see. Haha, I guess I didn't want to look bad in front of you, my ex-wife. I dressed up. How do I look? Does it suit me?" "Yeah, John, you look young, and that shirt suits you." "You too, Emily. You still look so young. You could pass for early 30s. "Stop. I don't need flattery. There's someone I want you to meet." I thought it might be Emily's new husband. But if it was her new husband, why bring me here? It didn't make sense. And there was no man in the cafe who looked like he could be her new husband. Here she comes. Look, over there." Emily pointed, and I saw her mother and a little girl. Emily's mother, my former mother-in-law, seemed a bit smaller than before. But who was this girl? I thought she might be a relative's child, but then Emily said something unbelievable. "I'm sorry I kept it a secret from you, but that girl is ours." Wait. When we split up, I was in the early stages of pregnancy and didn't even show yet. After the divorce, I felt unwell, went to the hospital, and they told me I was pregnant. So, I've been living all this time not knowing I had a daughter, not paying child support, just living carefree. John, I don't want you to feel guilty. I never liked kids and didn't want to have any, but after she was born, I realized how precious she is. I'm sorry. You always wanted kids and I wasn't ready, but now, she's my precious daughter. I never intended to ask you for child support." Emily indeed never liked small children. She had even said she wanted to live as a childless, working couple. I'm an only child, and my parents passed away after I graduated, so I always longed for a warm family. I dreamed of having a child, doing barbecues, and camping together. When I was a kid, my outdoorsy father always got excited about preparations as summer approached. On holidays, we'd all go out for outdoor adventures. Influenced by my father, I wanted to enjoy the outdoors with my child. But Emily was adamant about not wanting kids and refused to try for a baby. We weren't completely abstinent as a couple, so I guess that's when it happened. Emily knew she disliked children and doubted her ability to raise one, so she deliberately didn't ask for child support. She probably thought I would accuse her of being after money despite her dislike of children. Her name is Linda. She was just at a friend's house until now. My mother brought her here. I see, Linda. That's a nice name. She seems to be popular and cheerful at kindergarten. Of course, Linda doesn't know she has a father. I told her he's in heaven. I'm sorry for lying. No, it's okay. I haven't done anything for Linda until now, anyway. My daughter, Linda, is a girl with a bright smile. She ran to Emily, calling her Mom. Then she glanced at me. Mom, who is this man? Linda asked. This person is. Emily seemed hesitant to say anything. She couldn't tell her I was still around and not in heaven. Seeing Emily in trouble, I quickly answered. Nice to meet you, Linda, right? I'm a relative, Uncle John. Really? A relative? Huh? Have we met before, or do you live far away? Yeah, I live in a faraway city. I've been too busy with work to meet you until now, but I'm happy to meet you, Linda. Yay, I am happy to meet you too. You seem kind. I'm nice to everyone at kindergarten. I can read now, so I read picture books to them. Is that so? You can read already. That's great. Did Mom teach you? Yes, we have alphabet cards in the bathroom. I love baths. I learned it by playing quizzes with Mom in the bath. I see. You'll be fine in school then. When I go to school, I'll study hard. I saw a doctor drama recently. It was a bit difficult, but it was about doctors treating a disease called cancer. I'm going to study a lot and become a doctor after I graduate from school. Then I can cure people with cancer. That's amazing. Linda seems precocious, already watching dramas. Girls often mature early, playing with makeup and watching dramas with their parents from a young age. I remembered there was a medical drama recently. I think it was called Go For It, Doctor. Inspired by the doctor in the show, Linda wants to become a doctor in the future. I've seen bits of that drama. The protagonist, a doctor, performs complex surgeries. That's probably why Linda aspires to be like her. Having lung cancer myself, I was startled when Linda talked about it. I thought she might know about my cancer and was saying this because of it, but Linda isn't supposed to know, so that's unlikely. If Emily had told her, it's passable, but I don't think Emily would do that. She was just innocently sharing her dream. When's your birthday, John? I'm good at drawing, so I'll draw a portrait for you. Come on. I won't be here for my next birthday. I probably won't be in this world by then. I forgot when my birthday is. That's weird. How can you forget your own birthday? Well, I'm old now, so. Mom, you remember your birthday, right? Yes, I do. My birthday is soon. It's June 20th. Is that so? That's practically next week, I thought. I hadn't prepared a gift for my daughter Linda. After all, I didn't even know I had a daughter. Then, maybe I should prepare something for Linda. What would you like, Linda? I want a daddy. My daddy went to heaven, Mom said. She said he's in the sky and we can't see him anymore, right, Mom? Yes, that's right. But, you know, I still want a daddy. All my friends have dads who play with them. I don't have one, so no one can give me piggyback rides. I see, but you can't really buy dads at a store, can you? Dads for sale at a store. That would be weird, John. I think my smile was a bit strained. My heart felt unbearably heavy. I can't blame my ex-wife Emily for lying. After all, I was the one who neglected our family and didn't listen to Emily, leading to our divorce. And now, I can't just arrogantly say, then, I'll be your dad, or I am your dad. It felt like my heart was about to burst, so I brushed it off lightly. Then, Linda laughed heartily. Her smile was somehow bittersweet, increasing the ache in my chest. This pain wasn't from my illness. While my lung cancer does cause chest pain, it was Linda's words that made my heart feel crushed with sorrow. Then, I can't be a dad, but if you're okay with me, let's go play now. Really? Is Mom coming too? Yes, I'll come along, Emily said. Yay, let's go to the park. First, let's eat something. You haven't eaten yet, right? I'm hungry. I'll pay, so you can have a kid's meal. Really? Yay, yay. I want the one with the flag. You can have a juice too. Linda then enjoyed a kid's meal at the cafe. Emily's mother, my former mother-in-law, left soon after, probably knowing about my limited time left. She looked at me with warm eyes. Despite having ruined her daughter, she showed me compassion. I felt sorry for not being a better person when I had the chance. Then, we all went to the park. Watching Emily and Linda play on the slide, my heart warmed. Maybe, just maybe, I could have a family again. And it might be selfish, but it could be a chance to feel like a father once more. But that's just my self-indulgent fantasy. I wanted to reveal that I was her father, but I restrained myself. On Linda's birthday, I met her again and gave her a drawing set. She was really happy about it. Since she wants to be a doctor in the future, I also gave her a children's book titled The Wonders of the Human Body. I hope it will be useful to her someday. John, this is for you. What's this? A letter for you to read at home. Thank you, I'll read it later. When I got home and opened the envelope, this is what was written inside. Dad, thank you. Stay healthy forever. Did I manage to do something for Linda? Even though that birthday present might be my last, I'll watch over Linda and Emily from heaven. Although I might end up in hell for being who I am, I still wish I could gently watch over them from the sky if possible.